Okay, we'll call the meeting to order then on Thursday, April 29th. And the first thing we'll do is invite anyone to mention any conflict of interest of which they might be aware. Okay, and if there's nothing, we'll go on to the next item on the agenda, which is unfinished business, the audit update. Okay, Dan, what can you tell us here?
Yeah, we've received the draft of the financial statements. We haven't yet received the final copy yet. And as a result of something last week, we have to do a special note to the audit, which we'll add to have in the final document. So we'll have that for the next council meeting. But I just want to give this council, I guess, if you're on your way out, I guess where we're at financially before you left, because the financial statements for the village is certainly a strong point of this council's term. It looks like the general fund for the village is going to have a accumulated surplus at year end of almost $60,000, and that's with bringing in $114,000 from the second prior year. So we're down from the second prior year, but still a good financial situation for the municipality. The water and sewer is basically same as where we were at last year. We brought in $90,000 surplus, and we left the year with an $89,615. So it's always good to have that little buffer in there for each year. It saves us raising rates to make up for a deficit that we may run into in a year. And then the light had a good year of 112,000, and of that we brought 60,000 in from the year before. Our reserve income, due to the higher interest rates and return on our investments, generated $185,000 this year compared to $147,000 last year. So the reserve fund income is great. We spend approximately, say, an average $1 million a year in capital projects. So we're getting to the point now where roughly 18% of it is paid with interest earned on our investments. So that's great for the municipality. At some point, if interest rates go up, it'll be even better for our investments. But I guess we'll take, for personal wise, we'll take the low interest rates. That's for sure.
Okay, so I'm just going to stop you there, Dan. So,
yep.
So the first number, say on the number general funding, the 59,000. So that's our surplus for this year. And in brackets, is that last year's surplus or 2 years, second prior year surplus?
That would be the second prior year number that we brought into this year's budget.
And although it's in parentheses, it wasn't a deficit, right?
Right on. That's just showing back what we brought in.
Yeah, so it was a surplus 2 years ago that we bring in this year.
Right on.
Yes. Okay. So for general funding, then, if we had a surplus of 114, and then this year we only have a surplus of 60, does that mean then there's a difference of 54? So that doesn't mean we were in a deficit of 54 that we just got saved, right?
Well, I guess yes, we would have spent 54 more thousand. I guess you could call it a deficit. Basically, and maybe an easier way to explain it is, we started out the year at the very start with $114,000 in cash from the second prior year, and at the end of this year, we had a surplus of $60,000.
Okay.
It's probably the better way to simplify it, I should say.
Okay, so then where the light we brought in 60,000, but now we're ahead 112. That and the reserve fund are really significant. We're in a really advantaged place this year compared to how we were. Right. Okay.
And typically with all these funds, we sort of fluctuate in a range of $40,000 to $60,000 one way or the other. Some years we'll have a deficit, some years a surplus, and we try to keep those numbers around 100,000 is our goal, just to keep a buffer for all three entities. Of course, on the reserve income, we're sort of hopeful there that with the investments that we do better every year, of course. But
okay, any questions or comments from the councilors? Okay, I'll get you to continue then, Dan.
Okay. Okay, the next thing, the municipal election, just a quick update on that people can now vote at the returning office at the Motor Inn. Mondays through Friday from 10 to 5 and 10 to 5 on Saturdays, 9 to 7 on Monday to Friday. And then voting at everyone at the normal polling stations on Monday, May 10th. There is a bit of a change this year. The government announced that they're going to announce all the results on May 25th. So after the voting on the 10th, no one will know till the 25th is the current plan. So by the looks of that, looking at the dates, and we have to allow so many days for someone to appeal the election results. So if anyone does that, we have to allow so many days. So it sort of looks like the date for our swearing in ceremony would be Monday, June 7th.
So can you just describe what will be the state of things between the 10th and the 25th, when the people will have cast their vote, but we won't know who has been voted in?
Yeah, the status is that this council is still the council until the next one's sworn in. So I guess if there's any issues that arise between now and June 7th, this council would still be the decision-making body for it.
Okay, and there are a few limitations on what we cannot, in terms of the magnitude. We can't make certain humongous decisions
Right on.
in that window, right? We have more power to do that right now than we will after the 10th.
Yes.
Until the 7th.
Yeah. Yeah, and in most communities, I don't even think councils ever meet hardly between the election date and the swearing in.
Right, right. And this is our last planned meeting as a council. And it's already a bit of an extra meeting just to deal with a couple matters here, but there really is unlikely to be another council meeting with this council and then as it is. Okay, any questions or comments about this, the municipal election update from councilors? Okie doke, next item.
Yeah, so I just wanted to do where we had council, I guess, together for the last meeting of the term by the looks of it, or hopefully the last one. Hopefully there won't be any emergencies between now and early June. But I just wanted to do a quick review of the council's strategic plan that was developed, that council come up with, I guess, 6 months into your term. And I guess from the retreat, the council went to 6 areas were identified. The council's main goal is to develop a strong and vibrant Perth Andover. And as council's all aware, that council talked about citizen engagement, economic development, financial sustainability, municipal and community services being a priority, and also infrastructure. Now I've got just a few slides, so I'll skim through them quick, because it's been quite a busy 4 years, and council's really accomplished a lot during the term.
5 years.
5 years, yes. Yeah, it's been so long. I told Jamie to go back to 2012 for information, but yeah. So it's just on the citizen engagement part of it. This area that we've done, I think, really well in, and a lot of it was done by hard work. And I think in some cases, a lot of it was done by COVID. It sort of forced communities to be more creative in how they do things. So I guess during this term, we've developed the newsletter that now we're up to over 400 people that it goes out to every week. It's been a great communication tool. I think the previous newsletter that we did, the print one, that went out to, I think, 60 to 70 mailboxes each month. And then we did several online surveys with people. We've done some focus groups. We had a focus group. Mayor Bell hosted one on accessibility. We had a contractors luncheon on building requirements. And then the online access to view council meetings. As council is well aware that we very rarely had people attend our meetings for whatever reason. People viewing council meetings online has certainly been a popular thing, and it's certainly something that we'll want to figure out a way to continue after the pandemic's over.
I can remember a few other things we did there with citizen engagement too. We had a public meeting for trails early on,
Oh, yes, yeah.
and I guess it'll come up later, but our economic incentives package was an engagement thing, and we've been working with the Rotary Clubs on. So yeah, I think we've done a lot, and I just want to say, like, I think the newsletter that's going out is so full of information for a town that's in a pandemic and unable to do a lot of things. It is so full of stuff, and I just congratulate the staff for coordinating that every week. I think that's a terrific initiative.
It is.
No, excellent.
Okay, continue on it.
Yeah, and then of course on the economic development side, our branding project. I had a meeting again today on that project and the web page. That project's coming along nice. It hasn't completed or wrapped up as quick as we would have liked it to, but that's coming along in the final stages that we'll have something finalized. We're working on different forms to have on our website and the functionality of them, and some things where people can, for example, if they want to pick up a permit for something or register for something, they'll be able to pay directly right on the website when they complete the form. And of course, council's economic development strategy that we've already started implementing, and we've had positive feedback from people who have been constructing in the municipality, and people, when they talk about building here, are quite impressed that we have that option for them. And this is one thing that council, I feel, doesn't get a lot of, or doesn't get the credit they deserve for the amount of work that council put into flood mitigation and lobbying the governments, both levels of governments, and the hours and hours and months of meetings on different projects for the bridge and street design and getting land and lobbying for funding for businesses and things. That's one thing I feel the public just doesn't appreciate, the amount of effort the council put into that project. And then we hosted, back to some of the things, we tried to coordinate for an economic development thing, a regional festivals meeting, trying to get all the festivals in the area to come through. And then the Marina project, which certainly has been an economic development tool for our community and drawing people to the downtown and the docks in the community. So those were some of the great things that council accomplished during the term. And of course, financial stability. I look back and different notes and things that during council's term, we amended the Algonquin contract where we locked in our 8% discount for the 14-year period to the rate. That was quite an accomplishment to have that done. It gave some long-term security to the electric utility. And in part, that's why we're financially a little better off than we would have been otherwise. And of course, council's starting with the heat pump program. We spent a lot of time partnering with St. John at Evanston to put a bid in on the Loresse wind project. Unfortunately, we weren't the successful candidate on it, but kudos to council for trying to be part of a partnership with Evanston and St. John to build a 40 megawatt wind farm. And then also that we've had balanced budgets during the term. As you'll see later on, we've and councils realize the importance of asset management and reinvesting in our current infrastructure, as well as in addition to not just building new items. And then we've done things looking at our operation costs with garbage removal or garbage collection and snow removal in the community. So those are some areas that we've done to make sure that the municipality stays financially viable. Our financial statements and management and debt load, I certainly put our community up against any municipality in New Brunswick for financial sustainability. So council's done a great job being the steward of our finances for the past 5 years. As Sheila corrected me on, 5 years. And then we looked at the municipal service I mentioned earlier, the rentals at the waterfront, and also on the other side of municipal services, part of council's obligation is to update some of our bylaws and policies. the procedural bylaw, the municipal plan zoning bylaw, and the animal control bylaw were all done during this term. Then we extended the water and sewer services in the industrial park. So those are some of the service improvements we've done, other than the normal improvements to our ongoing rec and tourism programs.
The whole experiment, I guess it is, to put the tourism building down on the waterfront is something of a municipal service, although it's also a tourism service, I guess. I mean, it goes along with all the riverfront, but that seems to have been a successful relocation in many ways.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and now in infrastructure, I've got several slides here, and I sort of forgot that we did all this stuff till I went back and looked through it. The sidewalk and curbing down over the hill, and the guardrail, and the decorative lights was one of the first projects that council tackled. We purchased new docks, purchased the Willie, the mini loader with the attachments, and that piece of equipment's worked out well with us for us. The man lift has been great, that we were able to take down our banners with, I guess, our own staff, which is nice. We did the improvements to the water and sewer system for the manor improvements. Purchased the backhoe, a pickup for public works, booster station generator, mini splits. Currently we're at 228 rented. The SCADA system improvements that we've done, the mapping system, a purchase of the garbage truck, the boardwalk upgrade on the per side, tennis court resurfacing, the Foster Street extension I mentioned earlier, Columbus Street paving, sound system, and digital sign for the Civic Center, and the Kubota tractor with attachments, the purchase in partnership with the fire department and the Fireman's Lottery, the Spartan Gladiator fire truck. That truck alone was over $600,000 for that truck, of which the fire department lotto and the LSDs paid a portion of that. And also at the beginning of council's term, we did the upgrade of the water line on Terre Street, which was a huge project. And as Mayor Bell mentioned earlier, the portable building in the waterfront development. And also not capitalized, but significant time and finances went into our asset management plan and the rural plan update. So that's the list of everything that we've done on the capital asset side. So as council knows, it's been busy over the past several years with all the projects we've been doing and things. So the staff should certainly be commended for the good job that they've done in pulling all these projects and tenders off and making sure that the municipality is doing things in a cost-effective way and tendering things and splitting things up so local people get the work. Council should be very proud of the fact that we are able to generate I guess some economic development in the community for local businesses and things. So,
well, I'm just going to reinforce what you said there, which is that the council guides and supports and leads the way and chooses priorities, all this sort of thing. But it is the staff who make the things actually happen. And this is quite an impressive list of things, even in 5 years. And so it's because we have staff that are willing to do a lot of different kinds of things, versatile, skilled staff, and get her done staff. So this is terrific, and I think this is a compliment to the staff. I hope they feel as pleased with all this as we do.
Yeah, we have they're mighty workers.
okay. Yep. So that's so I believe that's everything I had on the council term. Oops, I'm just clicking down now. So I guess from that, then I need a couple of motions this evening, and that we talked about. One is to hire based on the recommendation of the hiring committee, David Baker and Jacob Doherty, to work for the municipality with a 6-month probation period included in that.
Okay, so this is work that the HR committee and some staff have been taking care of. So we're not going to talk in detail about these 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 employees, except we're delighted that they're joining our staff. And I will entertain a motion from one of the counselors to make this hire, motion 721.
Make a motion on 721.
Thank you,
Yeah.
David.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Cindy. Any discussion on the motion? All right, then, if everyone in favor of the motion 721 to hire David Baker and Jacob Doherty with a 6-month probation period, say aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. And then we have another motion, and this is about a hiring process that is underway right now. And what we are doing with this motion is giving the hiring committee the authority to complete the interviews and fill this position. And this is recognizing that there may be this period of limbo. This is not a management position, so it seems reasonable that we would allow the hiring committee to take over this responsibility. This would normally not necessarily come to council where it's not a management position anyway.
I would move motion 821.
Okay, thank you, Sheila.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Dave. So the motion says for the hiring committee to complete interviews and fill the marketing and special events coordinator position. Is there any discussion on this motion?
Yeah. And just to make clear point of clarification too, that position would also be done with a 6-month probation period.
Yes, okay. All right, if we're ready for the question, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. All right, well, council, we're not all here, and I think I've said a few thank you, everybody. It's been a good term before, because I thought we had our last meeting one or two meetings ago. But again, I thank the council, I thank the staff. We've had a really, really good 5 years, and perhaps we'll see each other again in June. Hard to say.
Who knows?
We'll take a motion to adjourn.
Guess I'll do it.
Okay.
I waited for
very much.
Cindy. Okay.
Best of